Miss Burlingame here. I want to give you guys a few tips and tricks today on drawing a still life and how to draw what you see with your eyes. So before we start on that, remember that a still life is something that is objects, something that sits still. So something like a cup or these cactuses you guys have been working on. The first thing you want to do is just take a minute to just look and study what you see.
Okay, so I've got my two objects here, and I'm just going to take a minute to look at what I see, okay? I see that this can is taller than this cup. I see that there's a little bit of space in here. I see that the can is mostly straight on the sides, kind of a rounded angle here, a little bit of a rounded line here. There's a curved line here that goes into a straight line on the side of my cup. I see this line here where the silver and the pink part meet together. I see a curved line here, okay? And I see lots of detail in here, but we're not going to worry too much about that. So once I've kind of taken a minute to study how big and how they're touching or not touching, when I've observed my objects, then I can start sketching. And you guys are going to use a contour line, which is an outline in a sketchy way. So you're very loosely going to use your pencil like this to just sketch out your shapes. Okay, so I'm going to start with this side of my can here. And I know that my can is taller than my cup. So see how I'm going back and forth, up and down, so I'm using it kind of a sketchy line. Okay, and then I start to see that curved angle of the bottom of the can. So see how loosely I'm using my pencil. I'm not holding on to it very tightly, drawing straight lines like this. Kind of holding more on the end in a very sketchy, quick contour line drawing. Same thing with this side of the can, it's pretty straight. And then at the top, I start to see that curved line at the back of the can that goes up and around, and I'm constantly looking at my objects and then my drawing. Objects and drawing, objects and drawing. And I'm not sitting here saying to myself, ugh, this looks terrible, and ugh, this is so hard, and I can't do this, and I don't want to do this. This doesn't look right. I don't want you guys to talk negatively to yourself. It is a little hard, and it's kind of tricky, and we're learning something new. But I don't want you guys to talk negatively to yourself. All right, so there I sort of have rough sketch of my can, and I already know that this isn't quite right up here, but we'll talk about that in a minute. And I know I've got a little space here for my cup, and I'm going to start at the bottom, maybe right up down about here, and do that curved line I see at the bottom. Again, very loose and sketchy, and then kind of an angled or a curved line here on the sides, and then it comes up and then in a little bit because I've got more space here than I do there. Something right like that, and then I see the top here. And that line there. And roughly, that is my objects. And then you can go back and add more detail, like I've done on this one. But for today, we're just going to start with kind of that outline or contour sketchy line. And I'm going to show you guys also how to use your pencil to measure how big your object should be. Okay?